Why would someone walk away from a stable salary to pursue something that might not work? What actually happens inside someone's mind before they quit a stable job? No guaranteed income. No certainty that their new idea will work. Sometimes, not even a clear plan. Such decision doesn't happen overnight. Something changes inside them first. You wake up. You work 8, 9, 10. You go home. You recover just enough to do it again tomorrow. Multiply that by 50 weeks a year, for 40 years, and this is your rat race. Not because your job is bad, because the whole system is built to keep you running just fast enough that you never actually get anywhere. You've thought about leaving. You haven't left. Not because you don't want to, because the exit was never a door. It's a slow psychological process, and you're already inside it, whether you've noticed yet or not. So what's actually happening in your mind right now, before you escape? Psychology's been studying this shift for decades. And "you just want more freedom" is too simple an answer. It's deeper than that. It starts with you losing control. You're earning good money. Your job is secure. Your coworkers are fine. Nothing is dramatically wrong. That's exactly why this is hard to see. It doesn't look like a trap. From the outside, it looks like you've made it. Psychologists Deci and Richard Ryan mapped this blind spot decades ago. Human motivation runs on 3 needs: autonomy, real control over your time; competence, actually getting better at something that matters to you; and relatedness, feeling connected to what you do, not just present for it. Your job quietly took your autonomy first. Someone else owns your calendar, your raises, your ceiling. Your paycheck covers your bills. It covers nothing else. And that's when the crack shows up in your head. Is this really what I want the next 10 years of my one life to look like? You try to make peace with it first. You don't jump straight to quitting. You try to make the race tolerable. You switch teams. You chase the promotion. You tell yourself the next raise will fix the feeling in your chest. Researchers Amy Wrzesniewski and Jane Dutton studied this exact instinct back in 2001. People actively reshape their tasks and relationships to squeeze more meaning out of a job they're not ready to leave. It's called job crafting. You're not planning an exit yet. You're trying to make the treadmill feel like something other than a treadmill, so you don't escape on step 1. You get there around step 5, after you've already tried everything else. Then a side door opens for you. Maybe it's music after work, a channel, a small business on weekends. Right now it's just something you do to survive the week. Not a plan, not an exit, just a release valve. Then it gets a little too good to ignore. Someone pays you, someone notices, and the thought in your head shifts from "this is just how I cope" to "this might actually be a way out." That shift changes everything, because now the race isn't the only track you can see. There's a second one, smaller, riskier, but real, and it's yours. It stops being about your schedule and starts being about who you are. For years, the race has defined you completely. You say, "I'm in sales. I'm in finance. I'm an engineer." The job title is the whole identity, and the race is the only path you can picture yourself on. Then you spend your evenings and weekends building something else, and eventually you catch yourself thinking, maybe the race was never who I actually am. Maybe it's just where I got stuck. A 2026 review by Herminia Ibarra, Sarah Whitman, and Kendall Smith frames this as a shift between entire work role identities, not just a paycheck change. And research on entrepreneurial identity by Martina Hahn and colleagues found people build a new identity gradually through side experiments, keeping the useful parts of the old one instead of torching everything overnight. This is the difference between you complaining about the race and you actually escaping it. You stop thinking, "I hate this job." You start thinking, "This race doesn't represent who I'm becoming." That thought is heavier. It's the one that makes staying feel expensive for the first time. You're now trading security for freedom. You know exactly what leaving costs you: salary, routine, status, predictability, insurance, the approval of people who are still running the race you're about to leave. The exit offers you none of those guarantees. So why would you actually take it? Because the math flips on you over time. Early on, staying feels safe, leaving feels like risk. But after enough years watching the race eat every good hour of your day, staying starts to feel like slowly losing your life to something you never chose. Leaving starts to feel uncertain, but at least it's yours. That's your real turning point. The question stops being, "What do I lose if I leave?" and becomes, "What do I lose if I stay?" Once that flips for you, walking away stops feeling reckless. It starts feeling overdue. It's not courage that gets you out. It's evidence. You don't wake up one day braver than you were yesterday. What actually changes is the proof sitting in front of you. You test the side business. You build a small audience. You save a cushion. You land a few real customers. The exit stops being a leap of faith for you and starts being a calculated move backed by data you collected yourself. A 2017 study by Gina On, Brian Dick, and Ruby Hornback followed people who left their careers for something that felt like a calling. The shift wasn't sudden for any of them. It came from ongoing self-reflection, built slowly, month over month, not one dramatic moment of clarity. So you're not leaping. You're building a bridge, quietly, before you ever step onto it. Careful, freedom can be a trap wearing a disguise. Here's where you could get it wrong. You assume escaping means working for yourself. No boss, no clock, total freedom. Psychologist Robert Valorin's research on passion complicates that for you. He distinguished harmonious passion. I love this, and I choose it. From obsessive passion. I need this to feel like myself. You could escape the race and immediately build a new one. You quit the job, start the business, and discover you're now working 80-hour weeks for a boss who never lets you clock out. Yourself. Same treadmill. New scenery. If you let it, the freedom version can trap you just as thoroughly as the job you left, because now your entire identity is riding on whether the new thing works. Your real escape isn't just leaving an employer. It's making sure the thing replacing the race doesn't quietly become a new one. This is the pattern you're actually living through. It starts with friction. The race stops meeting your real needs, even while the paycheck looks fine. You try to make the race bearable from the inside. When that's not enough, a side door opens, almost by accident. You experiment. You build real competence. Your identity shifts. You start seeing yourself outside the race for the first time. Evidence piles up that the alternative can actually work. Your fear of leaving shrinks. The cost of staying grows. And at some point, quietly, you step off. Friction, exploration, experimentation, competence, identity, evidence, exit. Your resignation letter is just paperwork. The actual escape happened months or years earlier, in 100 small decisions nobody else saw you make. Where you actually are right now. So what does it take for you to escape the rat race? Not recklessness, not extraordinary bravery. Usually just years of quietly discovering that the race paid your bills but starved everything else. Your autonomy, your competence, your identity, your sense of meaning. If you're building something on the side right now, actually getting better at it, collecting real evidence it works, and catching yourself thinking, I am, instead of I do, that's your signal. You're closer to the exit than you think. Because the rat race was never going to trap you with locked doors. It traps you with comfort. Getting out was never about finding more courage. It's about finally seeing clearly what staying is actually costing you.